How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Switch Stars, where today on the channel we're taking a look at Whittingham Asylum, The Investigation, a game which promises a chilling journey as we investigate unexplained disappearances at Whittingham Asylum as investigative journalist John Simmons. Now, the trailer for this one makes it look pretty decent, but the publisher, Great Escape Games Publishing, hides a deceptive little secret, as the game itself was in fact developed by Midnight Works, and indeed the Steam listing shows that they both developed it and published it on the platform. So it appears as though the boys are back in town again with a shiny new nameplate whose logo they've clearly taken heavy influence from with this escape room in Colombia. But let's dive into this mystery and see whether we can uncover the boatload of shite that we've all come to expect, shall we? So like I said, plenty of effort has gone into the trailer for this one, as is usually the case with their games, but the lackluster main menu is a sign of things to come, and I'm not going to beat around the bush here. The game is shallow, and so I'm going to be quickly running you through it in its entirety to save you the effort and a little bit of cash in the process. So no real intro to the game, and following a relatively long load screen we find ourselves in our apartment. It's here that we find evidence of our ongoing investigation work into various murders as mugshot-filled corkboards litter our apartment, and a couple of documents indicate that we've already begun looking into the disappearances at the asylum, but the controls for the game are relatively simple: move with the thumbsticks, interact with Y, duck with A and jump with B, though the sensitivity is pretty low in this one, which makes turning a bit of a pain. After a nearby phone rang and I answered it, I was surprised to find that the game actually has voice acting, which isn't great, but it's something at least. But we're told that our recent article has caused quite a stir and that we've been invited to the asylum by its deputy warden, Miss Bexley, to take a look around and clear the air once and for all. After popping off to sleep and sitting through another long load screen, we arrive by boat at the asylum and proceed up a textureless long winding hill upon which it sits, before coming face to face with the aforementioned Miss Bexley, who appears to be a charming nun-like woman despite her having a face like the Crypt Keeper, as her lips pull back revealing a frightening set of gnashes. But after following her to the asylum, where the straitjacket-clad inmates run freely, we're invited inside and given permission to investigate Whittingham Asylum, not Whittingham as the game's title implies, though not before our main protagonist gets all confrontational, demanding to know the whereabouts of a missing inmate and the asylum's director, Mr. Miller.
Tell me, Mrs. Bexley, where do you think Chris Twansky went? We never got his...
From here, take a look around, and there's very little of interest apart from a few stray nutters, all of whom appear to use the same character model, including one busting out some kung fu moves, one watching a blank TV, and another one having a seizure on a bed whilst another hides beneath one. And there were a couple of documents containing patient details, but one of the patient's hands has a key, leading us to the basement, where we're suddenly knocked unconscious. Awakening in the cell, we then find a flashlight, and a patient in an adjoining cell explains that we're all about to be killed, moments before a voice announces "Eeny meeny miny mo" over the tannoy. And yeah, I said eeny meeny miny mo, not miny mo. But after some muffled thuds, the door opens and we find a dead guy just leaning against the wall like this. Anyway, it appears as though this fat bastard here has been released into the cells to play some sick game of hide and seek, and thus we're tasked with avoiding him and escaping. Though if you do get caught by him, he just twats you around a few times, taking a bit of your health away, and avoiding him is pretty trivial. The process of escaping this area though involves some backing and forth in between the main room where this oaf wanders aimlessly and the adjoining rooms where we discover the body of the former director Miller, snag a ladder to lead us up to the second floor where we flick a switch to open up a gate, and after a brief jump scare in this next area we find a key to open a power box back where we came from, which leads upstairs, where we find another note informing us that this big Mongo bastard is Director James' son, and that presumably hide and seek went wrong, the son killed the father, and Miss Bexley, who was banging James, is now running the joint. So that's the plot right there, nothing more to know. We then pull another switch, crawl through a passage to reach the exit and head back up to the main asylum. Now, from here we attempt to exit but find our way barred as the asylum gates are now closed, and proceeding around the back and down the hill we find a house containing another nutter who jump scares us, and a key opening the admin room back up in the asylum, so back up we go, avoiding the torch wielding guards as we do so. In the admin area, we find nothing but a note containing the code to an elevator located back down in the basement with Fat Lad, and making our way back down there, we then take the elevator back up to the asylum proper. This last area of the game is equally as tedious though, requiring us to collect 3 fuses to power a radio antenna, each located within the few surrounding buildings, and there are a number of bear traps strewn about the place which, if caught in, we need to hold A to get loose from, but none of them kill us instantly. After collecting the fuses and powering up the antenna, we find a radio and call for help, and we're directed to head to the dock as a ship will pick us up immediately. But lo and behold, Fat Boy returns, and I was just about to hide in this locker before he spotted me, and so had to make a run for it. Dodging past a few more bear traps though and torch wielding guards, I hopped over the final fence and dashed my way to the docks. Though in a shocking twist that you'll never see coming, we arrive at the dock, and as the boat pulls up, good old Miss Bexley is on board, and Fatty finally catches up to us, stomping into frame before the game ends abruptly and boots us right back to the main menu. And that's it. That's where this game ends. No real explanation of what the actual fuck is going on other than a sick game of hide and seek, some classic in-company shagging, and a cliffhanger which leaves us open for a sequel that I'm very much looking forward to playing, almost as much as I'm looking forward to sticking my bollocks in the toaster later and browning them until they're a lovely shade of golden delicious. While admittedly, it actually feels like someone developed this one to some degree and it performs well on the Switch, the story is considerably lacking, the gameplay is shallow, and the scares are predictable. But its nicely constructed trailer contains plenty of fakery and in no way depicts the kind of gameplay experience you're about to have with it. My advice, stay well clear of it, and take note of this publisher, because Midnight Works will no doubt be dropping more shite in the near future under the guise of Great Escape Games publishing. That though, my friends, is it for this one. So drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this one and are looking for more Nintendo Switch content. But for now, thanks to the patrons of the channel for their ongoing support, and to you the viewers for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.